Hello everyone, welcome to Explore ORZ. How are you guys doing? Hope you guys have an amazing day today. So today, we are going to share the most deadly natural disasters on the planet. Number 11 is lightning. While lovely to look at, lightning can be dangerous, and it happens every day in different regions of the world. An electrical discharge created by an imbalance between storm clouds and the earth is known as lightning. While lightning strikes all across the world on a daily basis, there is one spot where you may be particularly vulnerable. The world's most active lightning hotspot occurs over Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela, where thunderstorms occur on an average of 297 days per year, resulting in 232 lightning strikes. To put it another way, death by lightning is extremely improbable. In 1807, the deadliest lightning strike in history occurred when lightning struck a gunpowder plant in Luxembourg, killing over 300 people. Number 10 is extreme heat. Extreme heat is described as a prolonged period of high heat and humidity, 2 to 3 days, during which evaporation is hindered and the body must work harder to maintain a normal temperature. Last summer, you may have seen the headlines about an intense heat wave that slammed Europe, killing over 800 people and driving temperatures to all-time highs in Belgium, Germany, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom. Because some regions are hotter than others, what constitutes extreme varies depending on the location and time of year. As you might expect, as you approach closer to the equator, excessive heat becomes more typical in places. Extreme heat can cause a variety of ailments, including heat exhaustion and stroke, which occur when the body is unable to effectively cool itself. The worst heat wave in history occurred in 1913 in Death Valley, California, when temperatures reached a record high of 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 9 is tornado. Tornadoes may appear frightening, but they are far less dangerous than most people believe. Tornadoes are intense winds that swirl about a center, similar to hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones, more on them later, but this wind funnel contacts the earth and causes havoc for only a few hours, as opposed to several days. The Great Plains of America, also known as Tornado Alley, and South America are home to the majority of the world's tornadoes. Tornadoes are particularly common in southern Brazil, northeastern Argentina, and areas of Uruguay and southeastern Paraguay. Tornadoes, on the other hand, can strike anywhere in the world if the conditions are appropriate. Every year, roughly 1,000 tornadoes strike the United States. They are responsible for about 80 deaths each year. The Daulat Persaturia tornado in Bangladesh in 1989 was the world's deadliest tornado, killing almost 1,300 people. Number 8 is extreme cold. Extreme cold, or the polar opposite of extreme heat, is just as dangerous. Extreme cold is defined as temperatures of -35 degrees Fahrenheit or lowers with winds of less than 5 miles per hour, according to the National Weather Service of the United States. In these conditions, a healthy adult's exposed skin will frostbite in 10 to 20 minutes. Extreme is a relative term that depends on where you are and what time of year it is. For example, the Canadian standard is lower than the US norm of -35 degrees Fahrenheit. Extreme cold can strike anywhere, although it's more likely to strike areas closer to the North or South Poles. Cold exposure kills roughly 1,330 people in the United States each year, according to the Public Health Post. The North American cold wave of 1936 was one of the most severe in history. In Nebraska, North Dakota, and South Dakota, February 1936 was the coldest month on record, with temperatures as low as -60 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 7 is wildfire. Every year, the west coast of the United States braces itself for a devastating wildfire season. Human activity, along with an extremely dry environment, is a primary cause of forest fires in the United States. All it takes is a spark, whether from a discarded cigarette or a campfire, mixed with dry trees and strong winds to cause an out-of-control explosion. Wildfires can occur anywhere, although they are most common in the United States and Canada's forested areas, as well as parts of Australia and South Africa. Every year, more than 3,000 people are killed in wildfires in the United States, according to FEMA. The Great Peshtigo Fire, which burned 3.8 million acres and killed at least 1,500 people in northern Wisconsin and Michigan, is known as the country's worst wildfire. It occurred in 1871, and it was most likely caused by unattended fires at logging camps during a particularly hot and dry summer. Number 6 is volcanic eruption. Volcanic activity occurs on a daily basis practically everywhere on the planet. Volcanoes are only mentioned when they are active enough to be noticed or, in some cases, lethal. A substantial eruption is one that has resulted in fatalities, moderate damage, roughly $1 million or more, a volcanic explosivity index of 6 or higher, a tsunami, or was linked to a big earthquake. 60% of all active volcanoes, like earthquakes, occur near tectonic plate borders, when slabs of largely oceanic crust are sinking beneath each other. The Circus Pacific Seismic Belt, commonly known as the Ring of Fire, is the world's most powerful earthquake belt. The belt stretches from New Zealand to Patagonia, passing via the South Pacific and Indonesia, crossing Japan, the Bering Strait, Alaska, and the west coasts of North and South America. Volcanic eruptions result in direct mortality as well as indirect effects such as tsunamis and earthquakes. Volcanoes claimed the lives of 19 people worldwide in 2017. The Nevado del Ruiz eruption in Colombia in 1985 killed about 23,000 people, followed by the Mount Pelee eruption in Martinique in 1902, which killed 29,000 people, and the Krakatoa eruption in Indonesia in 1883, which devastated more than 70% of the island and killed at least 36,000 people. Number 5 is landslide. A landslide occurs when a large volume of rock, rubble, or earth slides down a hill. We realize that's a broad description, but landslides include mudslides and rockslides, among other things. Almost every landslide has several causes, such as water level fluctuations, erosion, earthquakes, volcanic activity, human activity disturbance, or a mix of these. Submarine landslides, also known as undersea landslides, can create tsunamis that inflict harm to coastal communities. Landslides can happen in any location. They occur in every state and territory of the United States, and they can be found in hilly, mountainous regions or locations prone to earthquakes and volcanic activity all over the world. Landslides are far more likely in mountainous areas with dense populations. This means that mortality rates are higher in South American regions like the Andes and Asia's Himalayas. In 1920, China experienced the world's greatest landslide, which killed 100,000 people. The greatest landslide in the United States happened during the 1964 Great Alaska Earthquake in Alaska. Number 4 is hurricane, typhoon, and cyclone. Location distinguishes a hurricane, typhoon, and cyclone. They're both the same thing at the end of the day, but the place in which they occur gives them separate names. They are all based on the same idea, regardless of what they are called or where they are found. Storms with high winds that swirl about a core and move across a body of water make up all of them. They can drag on for days or even weeks, and all three are extremely dangerous and lethal. A hurricane, typhoon, or cyclone can cause devastation almost any place there is a significant body of water. Which one will you have the pleasure of experiencing? They're known as hurricanes in the North Atlantic Ocean and the Northeast Pacific. Typhoons occur in the Northwest Pacific, while cyclones occur in the South Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Hurricanes kill an average of 17 people each year. However, certain years have a disproportionately high death toll. The Great Galveston Storm in Texas was the deadliest hurricane in history, killing 8,000 to 12,000 people. The 1970 Bola cyclone, which hit East Pakistan and India's West Bengal, was the worst storm in history. At least 500,000 people died as a result of the disaster. Number 3 is the earthquake. Every day, earthquakes occur, believe it or not. The truth is, most of the time you are completely unaware that they are taking place. Our planet's land masses are supported by tectonic plates, which are thin, relatively inflexible plates that are continually shifting, ever so slightly, on the Earth's surface. When the tectonic plates become caught at their edges due to friction, an earthquake occurs. An earthquake is a release of energy that goes through the crust and generates a tremor when the stress on the edge overcomes the friction. The Richter scale is used to assess the severity of earthquakes. Some movements are more noticeable than others, and we give higher marks to those that we can feel. Earthquakes can strike everywhere, but the Ring of Fire, as previously said, is the world's largest earthquake belt. It's also where the majority of seismic activity is likely to occur. The number of people killed or injured by earthquakes each year has decreased dramatically as the world has gotten more resilient. In 2017, for example, earthquakes claimed the lives of only 1,222 people. However, infrequent earthquakes such as the 1976 Tangshan earthquake in China, which killed over 250,000 people, and the 2010 Port-au-Prince, Haiti, earthquake, which killed 200,000 people, continue to be devastating. These two earthquakes had magnitudes of 7.0 or greater and are among the deadliest in history, only surpassed by an earthquake in Shanxi, China, in 1556, which killed an estimated 830,000 people. Number 2 is flooding. When water overwhelms normally dry terrain, a flood develops. Excessive rain, a burst dam or levee, rapidly melting snow, hurricanes, or tsunamis are all possible causes. Most floods take hours or days to develop, but there are situations when there is little to no notice, which can result in fatalities and disasters. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, flooding can cost more than $40 billion every year. Flooding is most common along the coast, but it can also happen in locations where there has been a lot of rain for a long time. Bangladesh is the world's most flood-prone country. Flooding-related deaths have risen to more than 100 persons each year on average. The Yangtze River floods of 1931 in China were the deadliest floods on the planet. Approximately 4 million people were killed as a result of the disastrous floods. Number 1 is famine/drought. Famine is a hyper-localized occurrence of intense hunger that results in mortality from starvation or disease caused by hunger. A drought is defined as a protracted stretch of dry weather that damages crops and causes water shortages. Overuse and overpopulation can also cause droughts. Drought is a common cause of famine, although it is not the only one. Famine is more common in impoverished nations, such as those in sub-Saharan Africa and South Asia, but drought can strike anywhere. According to the World Meteorological Organization, catastrophic African droughts in 1975, 1983, and 1984 resulted in roughly 680,000 deaths between 1970 and 2012. The Dust Bowl period in the 1930s was the most damaging drought in the United States. At least 50 million acres of U.S. land were damaged, according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. According to world data, 128 million people died from famine around the world between the 1860s and 2016s. Thanks for watching our video. If you like our video, remember to help us like and share. If you have yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, remember to click on the subscribe button and hit the bell icon, so you will be able to receive the notification when we launch a new video. See you in our next video.